Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here, watching tonight's Monday Night Raw with your live coverage. Today is April 6, 2015. We're a week out from WrestleMania and the Raw after WrestleMania. And what do you know? I was one to say that basically WWE was moving in a new direction. Last week's edition of Monday Night Raw was a vast improvement on the things that we saw before WrestleMania. And now we come back this week. We're teased with Miz versus Mizdow. We're teased with another United States Open challenge from John Cena. Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus is a rumored match to be going down tonight. As well as, other things like the John Cena versus Chris Jericho podcast going on live tonight on the WWE Network. And, WWE opens up Monday Night Raw with Kane versus Orton. Kane had a time in wrestling when it really was something that people really did care about. That day is long gone and forgotten. When people, chant at Big Show and Kane, please retire, I honestly sort of feel bad for him. But, I don't know. It sort of, went against everything that I was saying in last week's video, saying that WWE was moving in a new direction. Triple H was going to be taking WWE to new heights. And it was listening to the wrestling fans, saying they wanted more wrestling. They didn't want the same thing that they've been seeing for a long time over and over and over again. And as soon as that segment was over, basically, I was immediately thinking that what I had been thinking in the past was 100% wrong. And then they come out with Seth Rollins being, told by Kane that he was in charge tonight, that he was going to be sending him to the ring for a match. And, you could tell that Kane and Seth Rollins were not on the same page at this place. And when this happened, basically, Seth Rollins went to the ring, and we had an open challenge basically against Seth Rollins, trying to figure out who Kane would send out to face him. And it was answered by Neville. Neville, who made his big debut last week, coming out against Curtis Axel, hit the big red arrow for the big win. Coming out of NXT, he was a former NXT champion. He's going to have a whole lot of steam behind him, but he also has a whole lot of people questioning about how big his impact in the actual WWE for Monday Night Raw and SmackDown is going to be, because there's lots of questions about his height. We know he's a great wrestler, we know he's a great high flyer, but WWE always has and always will be a big guy's place, and it's hard for these guys to get in. But when you're having your debut match against Seth Rollins, your WWE champion, on Monday Night Raw, it's going to be a big deal. I believe that Neville is going to be a big star, because this match tonight really did step up to the plate and really did deliver. Neville got a whole lot of offense in the beginning of this match with him fighting off Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins was able to show that he does have some more experience in the ring than Neville does. Being able to hit a few counters here and there, and he was able to take Neville and wear him down. But there was a place in this match when Neville had a great shot to hit the red arrow in order to get the win. But J&J security on the outside always is a big advantage to Seth Rollins. Basically, one guy jumped up on the ring trying to distract the referee, acting like he was going to get in there, while Noble jumped up on the ring and grabbed Noble's foot. Neville had to knock him off, and when he was able to do that, Rollins was able to step off. Neville was able to jump over and continue the match going, but Rollins was able to wear him down. He was able to hit the curb stomp and able to get the 1, 2, 3. I wasn't able to keep Neville down. You could tell that Neville was looking for another fight another day, but you can believe that Neville's run in WWE is going to be really, really good, and we should have a lot more coming on Monday Night Raw. But as the first match that really mattered, it was a good one, and it was a great way for Neville to come in. Anybody can come in and have a great debut match against Curtis Axel, but to come in and have a match against a WWE champion, Seth Rollins, and have it mean something, have it really matter, I don't think anybody really thought that Neville was going to win that match. I don't think it was even named a WWE championship match, but for your WWE champion to be coming out of WrestleMania and lose a match to a debuting NXT superstar, I just didn't think it was going to happen, but him being able to put up a fight is enough of a win for me. Awesome match. That was an awesome match. That right there is one of the reasons why I think that WWE is moving into a new direction. They're going towards a new thing. I know that I was negative in the last video talking about Orton versus Kane being in the leadoff spot. But wow, these last two matches, Neville versus Rollins, Stardust answering the open challenge for the United States Championship by John Cena. John Cena in the last 2 weeks has showed us more wrestling that we've seen for this guy in years. And this has been on Monday Night Raw in the first hour. Nothing really big and that spectacular about it. Nothing really big leading up to his match against Rusev at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Just all out, let's go out and wrestle. I mean, this is the things that fans have been wanting from John Cena from years. But John Cena comes out and says he's United States champion. You want some? Come get some. Opens the open challenge. I was thinking about what, could be really going down. We've got Kane versus Randy Orton. We've got Big Show versus Roman Reigns. We've got Miz versus Mizdow. We've got, all of these guys already all knocked out about what's going to be going on in the show. So I was like, who is left open to answer this open challenge? If it was going to be Rusev versus John, they would announce Rusev versus John. So trying to figure out what we're going to be seeing going down. But it ends up being Goldust coming out of the back. And my first gut reaction was like, fuck yeah, I've been looking forward to Goldust, getting a shot in WWE for a long time, no matter if it was Cody Rhodes, dashing Cody Rhodes, Goldust, Stardust, I don't give a shit. But Stardust comes out, and I knew this was going to be a good match, and just like in the last match, we saw lots of selling from Cena with Stardust, getting near close falls. There was this one point when Goldust, I keep on calling him Goldust, and I apologize, Stardust, they're not even a team anymore. I don't even know what Goldust is doing these days, but basically Stardust had Cena, down on the ground. He hit him with the, well, no, I guess you go back to a little bit earlier in the match when, Cena was trying to put the STFU on Stardust. He was down on the mat. He was able to, climb and grab the rope. Cena grabbed the foot and pulled him out towards the middle of the ring. And when he went to go apply the STFU once again, Stardust was able to slip out and start wrestling once again. And he was able to hit the big crossroads, the cosmic key, whatever you want to call it. And I choked on my goldfish. I thought there was no way in the world Cena was going to lose, but I thought that it was really going to happen right there in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3. Cena was already going to lose that United States Championship, but Cena was able to kick out. The match didn't go that much longer after that, but this is the match that really legitimized Stardust as a guy in WWE. I would love to see him wrestling as Cody Rhodes, but as of right now, the guy still is wrapped up in this gimmick. Where it goes from here, I'm not sure, but this was a damn good match. In the first hour of Monday Night Raw, well, I guess now we're not, and I guess it's in the second hour because it's already 6:30, and so I guess we're an hour and a half into Raw, but still, damn good match. Cena's still more to come when he is on the Chris Jericho podcast after Raw ends on the WWE Network, so wowzers. They got a good match to talk about tonight with Jericho because that was a fun one. That was really good. When Rusev comes out, I'm not sure, but we're going to have to see what leads to this match at Extreme Rules. Alright, everybody, this is Stevie Breach coming to you. We finally got that Miz versus Mizdow match. I apologize, I have my television on. I've been lost watching the network a little bit during Raw tonight. Honestly, tonight was one of those Monday Night Raws where they just hit the wall, and they hit the wall hard. I made a joke on Twitter that I bet there was a lot of people turning off Monday Night Raw, or just maybe just heading over to their computer, their iPads, or their phones, and I bet you that a lot of people were going over to YouTube and were watching Assault and Battery 777's video. The WrestleMania Day 6 from WrestleMania 31. It's the Monday Night Raw and the Boardwalk video. I honestly went over there to check it out. It's a 15-minute video. You could have, slept your way through a match somewhere along the way. You had Ryback versus Harper. You had Reigns versus Big Show. That Divas match. Lots of boring stuff along the way. Nothing really that getting there to it. But now here we are rolling up on the main event of Monday Night Raw. And we finally get a good semi-main in Miz versus Mizdow. A match that they've been hyping for us on Monday Night Raw for a good long little while. Basically, is Mizdow is the helper of Miz, and, Mizdow was, getting over with the fans, and people were turning against Miz, cheering for Mizdow. Miz didn't like it because he was supposed to be the big star. The star of the Marine 4 with Summer Rae. I'm a Marine, damn it. But, man. It's going to be, freaking awesome. This was a good match. It really was something that reminded a lot of people that, Damien Mizdow, was a great wrestler at one point before he hit the wall, and WWE really didn't have anything to do with him. It was kind of crazy that he was able to squeak through and keep his job, because, for the longest time he had that Money in the Bank briefcase, and then he cashed it in against John Cena on an edition of Monday Night Raw, and the second he lost that match, he lost everything. I don't think he won a match for the longest time, whether it was on SmackDown, Superstars, Main Event, Monday Night Raw, anywhere. I don't think that he was able to buy a win, and he just went through failed, character after failed character. He went the rate of, Charlie Haas, where he just started dressing up in different outfits each and every week, and then he went on a tirade on the pre-show, and that led to him basically being fired. But then he got rehired by Miz as his personal assistant. They won the tag titles, and now it came to this match. But this was a great wrestling match. Both of these guys really giving it. They're all, like I said, Miz and Mizdow both showing that they are great wrestlers. And Mizdow being able to show that, he was coming out of the shadow of The Miz. I mean, The Miz is the man. He was the headliner of WrestleMania 27. He won that main event. He was the WWE champion. Mizdow was the guy that a lot of people thought was going to become World Heavyweight Champion just a few years ago. So this guy has a lot of talent. Just the writers in the writing room just forgot about this guy. And you were able to see that this guy really could go. Miz won the match with a handful of tights rolling him up. So definitely we're going to see another match from these guys, basically seeing that Sandow is going to have to show up at the pay-per-view and be able to beat Miz to show everybody that he's the real deal. But I think this match shined a lot of lights in people's eyes, showing people that it was a good stuff. So here we are. We're going to go to the main event. It's going to be Roman Reigns, Ryback, and Randy Orton to see who the number one contender at Extreme Rules is going to be. Who gets the shot at Seth Rollins? There you go. Tonight's main event. Three-way, triple threat, no disqualifications going on. The winner goes to Extreme Rules 2015. You saw 3 winners of 3 matches. This match was hyped throughout the whole show for this triple threat. Basically, it was Ryback versus Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns. And basically, in order to make it into this triple threat, even though this was featured before they went to every commercial, Ryback had to beat Luke Harper, Randy Orton had to beat Kane, and Roman Reigns had to beat Big Show. A very, very easy main event to pick, see what was going on. I had already thought that Randy Orton was going to be the number one contender going into Extreme Rules, seeing how he has the one guy with the most sort of feud going on. I know that Roman Reigns is pissed that he was the number one contender going into WrestleMania 31, and Roman Reigns did, cash in to become, I apologize. Seth Rollins did cash in against Brock Lesnar to become the champion, ending Roman Reigns' dream of becoming the main event World Heavyweight Champion at WrestleMania 31. These guys go into the ring to have a 3-way, the 3 good guys. You think these guys are just going to be going out there trying to have the best match they can have. But then, hey, what do you know? Out of the blue, out comes the Authority, Big Show, Seth Rollins, all interfering into the match, all trying to see what they can do, to do this. It was hard to see who Seth Rollins wanted to win this match. I don't know if he was trying to make it where nobody won it and he just wasn't going to be able to defend the championship, but he's in there, he's curb stomping people. J&J Security's running through the ring, and at one point, Randy Orton is left alone in the ring. He hits the RKO on Ryback after Ryback attacks one of J&J Security, leaving him open for the 1-2-3, and Randy Orton is moving on to become the World Heavyweight Champion with this shot at Extreme Rules 2015. He's the new number one contender. I don't know. I think that Seth Rollins is going to be keeping that title until SummerSlam, seeing how maybe he can do the rematch of a 3-way. Maybe he'll just do Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, but it's going to be a fun ride to see how we get there. But you can hear everyone right now turning on the WWE Network, heading on over to watch the Chris Jericho podcast with John Cena. They're hyping it up. They're giving you a little bit of a break. Right now they're doing a little bit of a thing about Mankind and Socko. Socko, Mr. Socko, right there, right in Vince McMahon's mouth. But it's going to be fun watching the network tonight. It's going to be a good one. Chris Jericho, live podcast, the first one. It's going to be a great one. But we've got our main event for WWE Extreme Rules 2015. We've got Randy Orton going up against Seth Rollins for the WWE Championship. We're going to have to see what the stipulation is soon to come. Peace out, everybody. That was a great Raw. Except for that middle part. I almost fell asleep a few times.